Hi, my name is Hector Acuna, and this is part 6 in my video series for the 30 by 30 by 30 exhibition egg tempera paintings that I've been producing through the month of January in 2024. In this video, you're going to watch how I created paintings 6 through 10. I hope you enjoy it, and if you have any questions or feedback, feel free to leave those down in the comments below this video. Check out my website, acunaarts.com, or find me on Instagram at HectorAcuna_studio. Thanks so much for watching and enjoy. Okay, so right now you're looking at the making of painting number 6. Again, these are 4-inch by 5-inch paintings that are done on handmade aluminum composite material panels. When I first started making this painting, I was referencing the cardboard props with the plasticine clay finger that I had sculpted, which you could see at the start of the video. And there was a small fishing bobber that I had attached to the props, and I was painting that image from life. Partway through the process, though, I decided that the painting would work a lot better with only one finger coming out of the form of the box. I really liked the strange and kind of like magical or almost spellbinding look to the single finger holding the bobber out of the box. It has a very psychologically interesting and familiar yet also strange presence, in my opinion. One of my favorite aspects of this painting was the slight reflection in the foreground, which is something that I came back to in some later paintings. Every few days I found that the paint was drying out and I would need to mix up a new batch of my titanium white and raw umber. The emulsion would last 4 to 6 days on average if I refrigerated it between sessions. This was my still life setup for painting number 7. You can tell I am rotating the orientation of the paintings between portrait and landscape day to day. So you can see in the bottom left corner a real-time video of my process and how slowly I add marks on the paintings. This was shot by my wife as I was painting in our living room. Part of the reason I moved my painting operation upstairs to our living room was because during this week the temperatures got very, very cold in Wisconsin, and my studio is located in our basement, which is not as well insulated as other areas of the house. So fortunately, my wife was cool with me bringing things upstairs during the middle of January. All right, so that's the progress so far. I have 7 paintings complete. I'm looking at some ideas for my sketchbook and thinking about some concepts that I wanted to paint at various moments in the past year. And one of these images that I kept coming back to was hands or arms coming out of boxes that had windows or doors located within them. So that was going to be the idea for painting number 8. But before I could start the painting, I had to remake another batch of my emulsion. So you can see here where the emulsion starts to kind of set up and cure on. Fortunately, it's not too difficult to clean out those containers. You just have to let them soak for a few minutes before washing out with a little bit of soap. One of the habits I got into while working on this project during the month of January was to save the egg white that was separated while gathering the yolk for the emulsion. And I would add that extra egg white to my breakfast most mornings. So it became a very healthy and protein-rich routine for me working on this project through the month of January. This was my very bare bones kind of setup, very simple still life setup that I was painting from for the 8th painting here, which as you can see is the portrait style orientation. This small little clay hand was sculpted actually a couple of months ago, back in the fall of 2023. Here's a nice time lapse that I recorded of the drawing and painting process. That's something I actually kind of fell out of habit with through the month. You'll see in the next few videos that most of my documentation are just very short clips that I recorded during the process. So enjoy the time lapses when they're included in the videos. I really liked painting this hand. Most of the reference was from a photograph, which you can kind of see on the right side of some of the video clips. I had my iPad with the reference photo up just to the right side of my easel setup here. And then I invented the window in the palm of the hand, which has these very small details of curtains on the other side of the window. So I like that sense of interior space that is being shown inside of the hand, which also is kind of interesting for its sense of scale. The hand feels very large in comparison to the window. I really liked that relationship of scale in this painting. Also, the size of the box being very, very small made the hand feel monumental, which was a feeling that really appealed to me at different moments of this project and this series. I wanted to show you a little bit of the surface quality of these paintings at the end of the painting process. You can see where some of the areas are buffed to a very satisfying sheen, while other areas have marks that are very flat and almost matte in their surface quality. It's actually not too big of a deal to go back once the painting is dried fully and even out that surface quality by gently buffing it with a blue shop towel. Painting number 9 featured a few different props initially, so you can see I'm setting up another still life incorporating that plasticine clay finger that I sculpted, and a small Hot Wheels sort of like Jeep Cherokee or Ford Bronco style car. I placed a small timekeeper sand game piece inside of that box prop to make the car feel as though it was levitating above the box, which was something that was really fun to incorporate into this painting. Again, I had to mix up a new batch of paint, so I wanted to share that step in the process too. Early on, you can see where I've placed the car and the finger and kind of, created this composite version of what I was looking at. So I moved a couple of things around just because I liked the relationship of the car to the size of the finger. Again, thinking about scale and certain things feeling very small and intimate, while other things felt very large and kind of domineering or monumental. I was pretty happy with how this painting was going, but at a certain point I felt like there were too many pieces that were trying to relate to one another, and decided to paint over the finger while leaving the shadow that was cast on the box and in the foreground there. So that process of removal or subtraction became a very interesting moment that was unexpected in that painting. And now we're looking at painting number 10. So I wanted to experiment with a mirror and thinking about space and proximity. I was going to make this a very simple vertical portrait format painting where the finger was going to be mirrored, or possibly creating this interesting relationship of the shadow. Again, thinking about presence and absence, or the additive and subtractive kind of tension that can happen when painting. So this is my very quick, rough block in of the painting. And then I'm at kind of like the halfway point here. You can see I've buffed a couple of those layers while painting, just to create more of a slick surface quality. And then this is where the painting ended up. So you can see I decided to eliminate some of that information, kind of like in painting number 9. And this is the full set. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stick around for part 7 in this series, where I will be showing you how I made paintings 11 through 15. If you'd like to purchase one of these paintings, keep an eye out on my website for those details starting in April. Have a nice day. Thanks.